I was out 22 cents, and so I only had $1.12 in my cornet money, and got to thinking I'd never save up enough, because Mr. Cleese said even a used one can set you back $21 or $22. And then the 4th was coming around, and all of us was saving up our chink to buy fireworks. I went around to Patsy's store late in June, and the snap crackers was in, 8 cents a bunch. Lane and Rollins sell them for 10 cents. Torpedoes, 8 cents a bunch. Catherine wheels, 1 cent each. Blake bragged he was going to have a cannon, but Mom wouldn't let him. She said I didn't know any more than to look into it and blow my head off. I did think it was funny when the print on one set of ladyfingers said, "Light fuse, do not hold in mouth." Big Red said that when he was a tad, all they had for fireworks was balls of wool soaked in turpentine, which they lit and fired around. I'm glad I didn't live back then. Anyway, we was ready away before dawn on the 4th, and I could hardly sleep. By our usual plan, I had tied a string to my toe and fished it out the window to the ground, and Blake, who got up earlier, come finally and pulled on the string to wake me up. I was already dressed and clumb out the window, mighty spry, onto a branch of the cherry tree, and then skinned down the trunk to where Blake was waiting. We let out to Rainbow Falls because it was set back over an empty hill from most of the houses, and you could make a ruckus there at just about any hour. You know what fun it is if you do it, but I reckon if you're just watching and holding your ears, it's not the same. I had punk, what the older folks call slow match, and we set to our fireworks, working up from the grasshoppers all the way to the cherry bombs. Blake said he couldn't get a cannon either, but he had bought a piece of stovepipe, and we poked around and found parts of tin pans that fit just perfect in the stovepipe's mouth. So we angled the stovepipe over the creek, chucked in a lighted cherry bomb, and then the tin plug, and kerwhack! It burst the plug across to the middle of the creek. We probably shocked some of the trout into the bargain. It beat any store-bought cannon, and it kept us the better part of the afternoon until the cherry bombs was used up. When night began to fall, we took out our colorful ones, the Catherine wheels and the Roman candles. You could write things in the air with the sparklers. If you stare at the Catherine wheel too long, you will get dizzy and think that you are spinning too. And the rockets can go any which way, but at their best they streak up with that cat hissing sound, then out of sight until they're lost. And then they blow, and the sparks cascade down through the night ever so pretty, all gold. We took our time with these because we were running out and wanted them to last. The Sabetha Crank Band was warming up for the concert in the park. You could hear them far off trying out their tubas and bass drums. Off in other parts of town, kids was shooting their rockets and crackers, and folks was setting balloons. The balloons, made of butcher's paper, would rise slow and graceful, and pretty soon settle kind of low like a spirit and glow a bit brighter before they burned out. They always burned out, and even when they tore open and fell with their cinders and sparks, it was grand. I'd bought some of the fireworks with the script, which made me think of the war effort and how I'd have joined the Women's Auxiliary if I was a couple 3 years older. The band laid into the wood-up two-step, and Blake and me both shuffled along to the beat as we lit our last rockets. Then, when those was out, we just laid back and lit our pipes and watched the balloons and listened to the band. Pretty soon they struck up Departed Days, which was always their last tune, their farewell, so to speak. I knowed the eyes of folks was welling up everywhere and looking forward to a good cry.